What's up, everybody? My name is Lamar Lang, and as always, I'm doing it for the culture. Today, I've been given the opportunity to interview a legendary Florida DJ straight out of Tallahassee, blazing 102.3, a Cumulus station. He goes by the name of DJ Dap. He's a program director and an on-air personality. So today, we're going to talk about his path to success in radio. We're going to talk about the music business, and he's going to give you some tips on how to succeed in the music business and not get played. DJ Dap, how did you get started in the music/radio business?
Well, the music industry, I started out actually wanting to rap. I had a rap group in high school, and that ended up being turning into radio. Being in the rap group, of course, you have to visit radio stations when you're doing interviews, because we used to go out and perform at different events. I'm actually originally from Panama City, Florida, so we would travel and all around Florida and South Georgia and do events. And so, a lot of times you visit radio stations. Well, in visiting these radio stations, we would always do radio interviews. And I was part of a group. I was the talker, so no one else wanted to talk. It was always me. And oftentimes when I was being interviewed, these radio DJs would tell me, "Oh man, you have a great voice." Everyone would tell me this everywhere I went. And once I got up to Tallahassee to go to school, I was in the Marching 100. I had friends in the 100 who was on the college station. And when they even heard me, because I was the DJ on the side also, they heard me and they would be like, "Hey man, you got a great voice. You should think about coming up to the college station and visiting." So it was 90.5 at the time. My friend DJ Saxo at the time, God bless him, he passed away not too long ago. And he invited me up, and I went and sat in on his show. And once I stopped marching in the 100, I said, you know what, let me go by and visit and see what this radio thing is about. And I visited him, and instead of rapping, I kind of went over into radio at that point. Even when I was up there trying to thinking about joining radio, I was pushing myself as an artist still and DJing, because I was kind of doing a little bit of both. But I never thought about radio. Radio is what I ended up doing. But I actually started out in this thing wanting to be a rap artist, but God saw fit to open doors for me into radio, and that's how I kind of got in it. Because when you do, when you're an artist, you deal with radio stations and radio DJs. So. Yeah, that's kind of how I got into it.
And for the people that don't know, the Marching 100 is with what school?
FAMU. FAMU. And you know what? I got a funny story, because when I was an artist and I used to come up here and visit, I was thinking about going to FAM, trying to get up here, be in the 100. I was still a rap artist, and I was still DJing. I got in here. I was able to figure out a way to get into DJing at a club at the time called Fahrenheit. And I DJed some crazy parties, man. I DJed a party where Outkast came to the party after their first performance at Jake Get the Gym. I don't tell the story often, but he handed me and my DJ partner, the vinyl, the record for Players Ball, for us to put it on at the party. We were a little bit hesitant, because that night we had heard that Outkast got booed at FAMU's gym, and of course it was their first time in Tallahassee performing. But that's weird for you to be a part of history like that. And we went ahead and put the record on anyway in that club, and everybody kind of liked it. It's kind of, at first when you hear a record at first, you kind of, I don't know. And also at the time, I was an upcoming artist, and I used to actually sit with Common up at 90.5 waiting for, at the time, the first hip-hop show at 90.5 was called the Hip Hop Circus. And I would sit there and wait to see if we can get J Squared to play our record on air. I had my cassette tape, and Common used to sit right there beside me with his cassette tape, and we just sit and talk. Because we sit outside the show waiting to get on the show to get J Squared to play our cassette.
Wow.
And a lot of times we would get in there. I would get in, J Squared would play my record, or maybe the next weekend I would meet up with, Common would be there just like me trying to get my song on. We were persistent at it.
Yeah.
And Common would get in there to get his record played. If you look back at Common's first album that he finally put out, he gives J Squared credit for giving him support and playing his record. I was, it's crazy, I don't tell people this story often, but I remember the day that he told me, Dap, I think I'm gonna get up out of here and go back to Chicago. He said, cause I'm trying to get my record to take off. He said, school, it's a bit much. He said, but I said, I love college. I'm trying to be in college, but I really want my music career to jump off. I think I got some friends back at home saying they're gonna help me out. So I'm gonna let me go ahead and let me run back home. And he said, it's been nice meeting you and talking to you, man. Good luck with your stuff. I said, good luck with yours. And little I know, 3 months later, here's this guy I've been sitting here with for weeks trying to get my record on. He blows up, The entertainment is crazy like that. I have a gazillion stories. I'm not going to tell you all of them. But, that's one of them. So, needless to say, a couple of years later, I decided to go the route of radio. I always have tried to, at the time, get my stuff on, but I ended up doing radio. I accepted that invitation from Saxwell. I went to one of the meetings, and I had already done a little radio in my hometown when I was in high school, the college radio station. There's a guy who was teaching me, helping me learn how to DJ. He helped me get an AM show in the summertime, so I actually had a little hip-hop summer show even in high school when I was like 18. I think I was 17 turning 18 when I got that show, so I was just playing around with it because I knew it was a chance for me to play my record. So that's one of the reasons why I accepted to get on the air and do it. But once I got to 90.5, I was able to eventually get on there. And I spent years just trying to get into getting a chance to get an airship. And I remember filling in, doing jazz, and sitting in even on the gospel show early in the morning. And here's another funny story. See, there's plenty of stories in this thing. Now, at the time, it's this popular guy that you guys know now as Will Power Packer, who's a humongous producer in the world of movies. Well, at the time, Will Packer was on 90.5 when I was trying to get on 90.5, and he was getting ready to graduate. I was coming in I was probably a sophomore at the time, but he was getting ready to graduate. Everybody, of course, wanted his show. Will Packer was a radio DJ on 90.5. We called him Will Power. That was his radio name. But when he got ready to leave, everybody wanted to try to get his show. And here I am. I'm this small town kid who no one knows. And Will noticed me when I would fill in for these odd hours. And he's like, no. He had so many friends and these people who were like popular, who had radio shows. He said, no, I'm going to give it to that dude right there. I see something in him. I think he's going to do some big things in radio. I'm giving him my show. Everybody's like, what? What are you getting that little kid a chance for? But he gave me that shot, and I got his show, and things kind of took off for me, from there.
Wow, so you've been in touch with greatness for a long time. You said Common, Outkast, booed at FAMU. Never heard that before. Never heard Outkast being booed.
Yeah, they did.
And then Will Power Packer gave you that opportunity. That's great.
And the funny thing is, even after I got started in radio and I ended up starting a promotions company, Will reached back and gave my promotion company, movie promotions jobs. So I worked with him on the Master P movie, which was one of the first movies he got, which was I think it was Lockdown. He had the movie Toi, which is his first movie. Me and my promotion team helped him promote 1 and 2, and then a couple of more movie projects he ended up getting. We helped him promote that all the way up to today. Some of these other movie projects he's had. Me being the program director, we worked on together and promoted some of course, now the big movies he's had out, recently.
It seems like key relationships played a big role in your success, in your plight.
Right.
How would you describe the importance of those relationships?
Yeah, man,
and mind you, keeping those relationships along, your road.
It is very important. Just like in society, your word is bond, and radio and this entertainment, it's the same thing. You really have to keep your relationship strong. You have to build those relationships, keep them, and know who the power players are. Try to work with some of the best. and you want to surround yourself with good people, and you want to work with good people. And number one thing the best thing you can learn is don't ever burn any bridges. You don't know who you're gonna have to work with. You don't know who you're gonna have to talk back to. So that's very true. I've always heard that. The people you meet coming up are the people you'll meet coming down. That's true. But if you just remain remembering, don't take a lot of this stuff personal. A lot of stuff people just, there are a lot of things that happen in the industry you have absolutely no control over. You either have to do what the industry is doing and to stay in the game, or get out. You got to roll with what's going on. If you're trying to go against the grain, which is fine, you can do that, but you may not be able to keep a job doing that.
Yeah. And
you dang sure can't sell no records if you're an artist and you're trying to do that. People want what they want. You just give them what they want. You can stick to your ideals if you have this one way of doing your records, which, just to let you know, I give you a perfect example, Jay-Z, which ended up working out for him. But for a long time, his stuff didn't take off because he stuck with this certain style he had.
Yeah.
And that style at the time wasn't popular. And he stuck with it for years. And I know because I've been spinning records for that long. Not to tell y'all my age or but for a long time, none of the Jay-Z records would work. And I was highly supportive of him when he first started, but the listeners just didn't want to hear it. So I couldn't play it as much as I wanted to. He teamed up with a rapper at the time, female rapper, Foxy Brown. The beautiful Foxy Brown. But, when he teamed up with her, he was able to blow up, and because he changed up a little bit.
How do you pick songs to play on the radio? Like, what's the process like for the independent artists out there, for you as a youth coming up trying to get your song on radio, for those people that are in this position right now? How do you pick songs? How would someone come to you and say, DJ Dap, I got this record, it's the greatest thing ever? How can they get you to play it?
The first misconception, the first problem that everyone has is everyone has this dream of becoming a record. I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of people have a dream of becoming a recording artist. But the problem is you have this pie and you have 100% to work with. Most people only interested in learning maybe 10% of the pie. And that's where this thing when you hear about entertainment is, 90% business, 10%, talent.
Yeah.
That's extremely true. A lot of people don't learn how the music industry actually works. A lot of people think you just should go to the studio, record yourself a song, and then go take it to the radio station. And that's it. That's all you need to know. That's completely untrue. I think people watch way too many movies. Hollywood needs to stop telling people in movies that's how it goes. It doesn't go like that. You need to really learn something. Let me give you some advice here. It's for free. Go pick up a book. It's called This Business of Music. Has everything in it that you need to learn about the music industry. And when I first started in the industry, that's what I had to read. I was asked to read that. I worked for a bunch of different organizations, a record pool being one of them. That's one of the things I learned. I had to go and read a book to learn, okay, this is how the industry works. So you need to figure that out. That's one of the ways you're going to pick up a book and read. That book right there they call it the Music Bible. Has everything in it. Everything you need to learn. As an artist, you need to learn how copyright works, publishing works. You need to learn how royalties work. You need to learn how radio works. You need to learn how retail works. You need to learn how record label contracts, how to read them. You need to learn about management. You need to learn about promotions. You need to learn all of that stuff before you get in the game. Most people don't bother learning anything. You just dive in and think from the movies, because you saw a movie that told you, go to the studio, record a song, and that's it. Well, you're shortchanging yourself because now you're not part of the business aspect. Why do you think the people who are around now that are making so much money out of this stuff, those are the ones who learn the business of it? Jay-Z is rich from this. 50 Cent is rich from this because they learn the business side of it. They know the business side. They get publishing, royalties, They learned all of that. Because that's why they're rich, because they get publishing to all of their stuff. You know, they get royalties for all this stuff. They learn the game. And the people who always end up getting done over or done wrong are the people who don't. They didn't end up getting their publishing. They didn't end up signing up their stuff, so they didn't get their royalties. They didn't understand what contract they were signing because they never bothered to learn. So a lot of artists, they have a huge misconception that you just record a song and come and bring it straight to us. No. Radio now is no different than a record label. A record label now, you can't just take a single, make yourself a single, and go and bring it to them and get signed. What do they want from you now? They want an entire album.
Yeah.
You can't bring them just a song anymore. Radio is the same way. You know, you can't just come to us with a song that's not popular for us to play it. We're not going to do it. We're not going to go and make your song popular for you. You got to go and make yourself hot. Make yourself trend, make yourself blow up, and then we'll add with you. We'll be a part of what you're doing. But we're not going to go do it for you.
Yeah.
Well, we found out because of technology, we have something called PPM meters. Those personal people meters give us an exact readout of who's listening and who's not in live real time. And what we've learned is, since we've had these personal people meters for some years now, is that when people listen to unheard of music, say if you give me a song you just made last week and come bring it to me and I go and play it and put it on the air, we saw with the personal people meters, we instantly lose all the listeners.
Wow.
Just like that. Maybe a couple of them will hang around. Randomly, these the ratings folks, they give these things to folks we call diary keepers who rate the radio stations, they rate television stations. There's a rating company, Nielsen, they handle ratings for everyone. You know, these meters give us instant feedback. They tell us whether you're listening or not. And one of the things we've learned is you can't talk too much. That's why you hear the radio jocks these days talking much less, because people don't want to hear you talking. They want to hear their song played. And the song they want to hear is a popular song that they want to hear. They don't want to hear anything that's unpopular. Just like you, when you go buy a pair of shoes, you're going to pick the nice shoes. You won't pick the no-name, you know, shoes you've never heard of before. You're going to pick the popular brand. You go to the movie theater. What movie you going to watch? You're going to watch the most popular movie at the theater. You're not going to pick the no-name movie you've never heard of. When you watch your a television show that you like each week, if it's Love and Hip Hop and it comes on every Thursday at 8 o'clock, that's what you want to watch at 8 o'clock on Thursday. You don't want to, if all of a sudden that network decided, well, we're going to put on some no-name, non-brand show no one's ever heard of and put that on the air. What everybody going to do? They're not going to watch it. So your station network won't be watched that day. No one's going to watch that channel. That's what happens when we put a brand new record on that no one's ever heard before.
Yeah.
We learned that with these personal people meters. With new technology, we know what's happening for real, in real time. So since learning that now, we ask for the artist to go out and make your song hot yourself. You have to go out and secure popularity for yourself. If you could do it by trying to go get Facebook likes, surely you got enough time to go out and blow your record up and make your record popular. So now, you know, we like to see numbers. If you can go out and blow your record up and you can show us YouTube spins by your video, we need to see something. And that's how we make a decision on what to play. Like, for instance, I can give you an example now. When we decided recently to play Kodak Black. He's an underground artist, had never been heard of before, didn't have a record deal. He's just a little kid out of, I forgot what city.
I think Pompano.
Yeah, he's a little kid from Pompano. And we all know Pompano don't have no artists.
Yeah.
You know, they virtually unheard of on the music scene. So it doesn't matter where you're from. You don't have to have a record deal. Your stuff just has to blow up. Well, guess what was happening with Kodak? My DJs came to me and said, hey, this is kid Kodak from down south. You know, his stuff's starting to go viral. And the last time I looked, he had over 1 million views. Oh, really? So me as the program director, I'll go and look. Oh, the video does have over 1 million views. I'm going to start watching it and see what else it does. So I'm paying attention to him now. I'm looking him up, seeing what I can find on him. About a week later, It's up to 3 million views. Oh, I think I better look more into this. Now I think it's time for me to take this up to the bosses and tell them, hey, we got this Kodak kid. We need to look at this record he's got. It was No Flocking at the time. Mm-hmm. It's up to 3-something million views. So the boss is like, oh, yeah, we need to talk about that record. So the next week, we talked about it and we added it because it was worth adding. The people had shown us they had an interest in that record. That's how you get a song on. The people have to show us that that's what they want. Not fixed like you, the artist and the label, you go get a whole bunch of people together and say, hey, let's try to amp up these views, or, you know, get a bunch of iTunes things and pay for it ourselves. No, we can tell when it's fake. Yeah. We know. It needs to be real. And we know it's real because we watch Snapchat, we watch Facebook, we watch, we watch all these different social networks to see what the people are talking about. And at the time, a lot of the people were talking about, Kodak, No Flocking. At the same time, we saw Kodak get out there and promote his stuff on mixtapes. We seen him out doing a gazillion performances. So then, when we see you doing that, and you have your spin, something we can see, some numbers we can see, it's a clear-cut case. Okay, that record needs to be added. A lot of time these days, people like to Snapchat. When people Snapchat, what's playing in the background? Music. So we actually can look and see what everybody's listening to. I think that's one of the best things in the world, Snapchat. For me, because it gives me direct insight and it gives me some research into seeing what everybody's playing when they're Snapchatting themselves. Girls love to do that. They'll ride in the car and they have their favorite song on while they're Snapchatting. Well, that's feedback for me. As a PD, I now can tell, without bias, what everybody wants to hear. Because they're not doing that for me as the PD. I know that person riding in the car, getting ready to go on their way to the party, is actually listening to a song that they like. So if I see 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, how many ever people in a week, 100 people in a week, and they kind of all randomly listening to different stuff, and it ends up being some of the same records, and it's a record I'm not playing, that tells me, ooh, I probably need to be watching this record. Because randomly 100 different people are playing that song. In their daily life, they're listening to that song, whether it's off a mixtape, which it is most of the time, or something they're playing online, and they're able to play it and get it on their phone, and that tells me everything about it. So an artist just released a new album or put out a new mixtape, that's the one they're listening to. That tells me everything. That's instant feedback,
So what are your ideas about, let's say, an artist like Future, who's putting music out constantly? Yeah. Some would say, he's overdoing it. Yeah. Some would say he's putting it out for the people to decide, what's going to be the next hit. Right. What are your ideas on that? Well,
you can somewhat oversaturate it, but you're only oversaturating it if you're trying to push that stuff for radio. The major artists do, just like I just told you, Jay-Z tried to push his. They do try to push what singles they want to, that they want to come out. But Future has been pretty good at letting the people pick the record, and that is actually a pretty good idea. As long as he doesn't go out and turn those songs, several of those songs into singles, he's letting whichever one rise to the top. Then he jumps on that one and pushes that one. I think that's pretty good. That's a great idea. That's a good thing to do. It's a great strategy.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's step away from other people's trials and tribulations in the music right now, and let's talk about success. Yeah. Success, is really subjective in my opinion. I think it comes down to the person. What are your ideas about success and what you do? Yeah. What is success to you?
Well, I think you should gauge your success on the goals that you set for yourself, and when you reach them, that's being successful. When you start, most of us have these dreams that we have of doing something. And the best thing you can always do in life is set goals for yourself. Make them attainable. Some goals are just way too lofty. But set some goals and try to reach those goals. And if you knock those goals out, things you set for yourself to accomplish, and you accomplish them, to me that's success. Yeah.
Okay. Great information. And I agree. I completely agree with that. Now, last question. where do you see yourself, DJ Dap, next 5 to 10 years? What are your goals for success? And if there's anything that the people can support in your plight to doing this, what is that as well?
All right. Well, first of all, everyone can support Blazing 102.3's Birthday Bash. It's our annual event that we put on for the city. And Birthday Bash is always about my station's DJs and the people, my listeners, my loyal listeners. I just random listeners who listen every now and then. I'm talking about my loyal listeners, those who wake up to us, to Steve Harvey in the morning. When you go to lunch, you're listening to us. In the midday, you know, when you get off work, you're listening to the DJ Dap Show. When you're out at night, you're listening to E-Zone. Those are my loyal listeners because they know that's their rundown. Every day, we're a part of their life. You know, we try to do that annual event, that week of events for them. You know, it's all about them, having them come out and have some fun with us, enjoy some free entertainment, and it's a way for us to tell them thank you for them supporting us the entire year. And we're celebrating the birthday of the radio station, which now is, I think, 13 years old.
Wow.
That's become an urban powerhouse in the market. We're the #1 station. Every now and then our sister station will come along and knock us off. But, you know, our sister station has been the heritage #1 for so long until recently where we've kind of dominated the market for the last 3-4 years. So now, you know, we're #1. And when I say #1 in all demos. You know, we've been doing our thing. We were #1, even the older folks, you know, 25, 54, we're #1 with them also. And we're dominating right now. So we're enjoying this time. And we just ask that people come out, you know, and you know, have a good time with us for Birthday Bash.
What date is that?
It's August the 13th through the 21st.
And where is that going to be?
It's all over the place. The kickoff is actually at the fairgrounds with Jacob Chapel, a local church here, and the city of Tallahassee. We're going to give away hundreds and hundreds of backpack school supplies, hygiene products, free food, haircuts, braiding. It's all free, you know. So parents bring the kids out. We got a concert with Lil Boosie the next weekend. That's part of our Birthday Bash. We have skate parties. We have comedy shows. We have a trip to Wild Adventures we're going to do all together on a bus ride. So we got a bunch of different stuff going on for Birthday Bash. And you can check out the website, blaze1023.com. We do it every single year. But the thing I see for myself in the next 5 years, trying to grow Birthday Bash to become something big, and I want to take my station to the next level, as well as bring my DJs up on the next level in the world of radio. For us to do some big things for our market, for the city of Tallahassee. That's what we're always trying to do, is trying to build up our community. This station is always about the community and the people. Our people have a lot of things going on where they need help. Young black males need help with guidance, with protection, with understanding the streets. We got to better our relationship with the police community, which we do here in Tallahassee, and make sure we're working well with the city and nonprofit organizations. We do this on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. We do this. This is what we do. We have right now, we're supporting our back to school drive. We have another, I'm pulling it out right here out of my hand, a Safe Summer for Kids campaign. Where you can get free food at a local church where kids come out and eat lunch for free. A part of our Safe Summer Kids campaign, we're reminding parents not to leave children unattended in vehicles because we've been having vehicle deaths with babies.
Wow.
You know, we tell that we do stuff like that, you know. We just supported a farm share last weekend that fed a bunch of people. Man, we do this type of stuff all the time, so that's what we pride ourselves in doing. Always getting out in the community and helping the people. For me, myself personally, I just want to reach greater heights and be able to do more for my station, and hopefully I can get a bigger position within my own company, and maybe where I'm over some other hip hop stations within my company in other markets, and do it from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'll definitely support. I like to come out and see if I could cover some of these events.
Yes, you can. You're welcome.
And speaking of community, who are some of these DJs you're trying to bring up to the next level?
Oh man, DJ Speed Racers, my DJ with me at 5 o'clock every day on the 5 o'clock traffic jam. He's always in the mix. Mariah Monet, she's my entertainment news reporter and entertainment specialist. So she keeps us on top of the news that's out there, entertainment news, what's going on. Carly Cole, she's my Steve Harvey entertainment news person in the morning, giving you local news, weather, and entertainment news. DJ E-Zone, he's my night guy. That's 7 to 12. Superstar J Quick, he's my nighttime mix show jock. On the weekends, I have DJ Lil Boy, who does Club 102 every Friday and Saturday night from 10 to 12. That's our mix show, getting you ready for the club. Also DJ Boogie G, he's on Sunday night with Club 102. And then I have my weekend guys also, who Sunday we do specialty shows, man. We have a reggae show with DJ A1 called Caribbean Vibes. And I also have my boy Stess the MC and DJ A to the L. They have Digging in the Crates, which is our old school Sunday show. We go way back and do some of the classic hip hop on Sunday. So that's my entire team that I want to bring up and try to bring up to the next level. We're doing a pretty good job at it, you know. We stay working at trying to get my folks on the next level. Not just with club stuff, you know, because every DJ is trying to get in the club and do that. You know, what we try to do is implement having our guys doing a whole bunch of different stuff. Like DJ Lil Boy would just name Florida State's official DJ for the football games or whatnot. You know, that type of stuff. We try to make sure we get our DJs out and be involved and do stuff for the community, as well as, you know, some big events.
God, trying to get